Ah, you're all still here then. God knows why. What are you doing? This is episode 10 of watching a overweight, gingering, greying 45-year-old piss around with a worthless old Mercedes and converting it into a camper van because he can't afford a proper one. Welcome back. You may notice I'm sporting a lovely paper suit. That is because I put a camera up over there on a tripod so that you could see me in slow motion, like a hyperlapse thing, but forgot to press record, didn't I? A pro job, you know. I have been let me see if you can see it. I have been fiberglassing essentially in behind this front quarter. I've made some, there's like a piece of angle that goes down through there that's part of the main chassis. I've pop riveted some angled pieces of aluminium which I bonded onto the outside fiberglass frame, so I'm hoping, or fiberglass body let's call it, so I'm hoping that that's going to sturdy it all up. And I've added 4 layers of 300 GSM fiberglass, so I'm hoping that that will all become nice and I can just, you know, prep the outside, throw a little bit of primer on there and then wrap it, and then I got to do the same this side. But to be brutally honest, you don't really want to watch me doing that, do you? But I'm hoping by the end of this episode we will have a dry outside mostly complete, or certainly dry and complete with the exception of some of the wrapping. I can't imagine I'm going to have had all of that done by the end of this episode, but you never know, right? The episode might go on for 8 weeks. But yeah, so what I am going to do in this episode is try and not put things in a chronological order, because I'm doing 4 or 5 different bits of it at the same time and it's probably a bit weird me jumping around. So I'll probably, like, you know, this is the side, we're going to do that side. So I have done that on some bits in the past couple of videos, and I've had a few people mention, oh, you're painting that and that bit's done, and then it jumps to something else. It's because I'm trying to keep it all logical. Bear in mind, I'm not a pro YouTuber, nor do I want to be. It's just a case of pointing a camera at some stuff whilst we're carrying on. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it so that it sort of, you know, watches better in order of what I'm doing. There's, like I say, there's 3 or 4 things going on at the moment, but if I just go bang bang bang, you'll be all over the place, because I know I am. Yeah, moving on. So I've fiberglassed along the back of this, and I've just put some bridging filler in there, and the same with that one down there is where the old lights were. For no reason other than I didn't like where they were, so we're just gonna, like I say, fill all this and fill that as well after, once this bridging filler's gone. You know, and then we can put the lights in a more sensible place. This is so much sturdier now, so I'm looking forward to sort of gouging this out and here, and again doing a bit of that, getting it in there nice, and just seeing how it behaves. But I'm genuinely pretty happy so far. Like I say, it's all sturdy. Covered up what I wasn't happy with. I've discovered that this hinge here isn't fantastic, so I think I'll probably replace that one as well. It's the same hinge that was on that little door there. So yeah, little jobs. It's all these little bits and pieces you have to do last thing at night, because they take like hours to dry out, you know, or just to harden up. So you've got to sort of remember to do them before you go off from doing something important. The repairs on these cracks are actually going better than I'd anticipated. It's obviously, I'm just roughing it out. I've obviously fiberglassed up and behind, and it's strengthened it right up. I pulled the bumper off. Something else to look at is this is the steel structure of the van, and there's nothing attaching like the, you know, the fiberglass just attaches to the fiberglass on the bumper. So I'm going to make a little bracket that comes out from here and in behind, so it actually mounts all of the fiberglass to something solid, because it's no wonder it's all cracking and horrible. I think that's probably what's happened this side here, because all of the weight of that bumper is just held on, you know, cool. So yeah, make a little bracket in there. I've gouged out all of the cracks, and got some of that P40 in there. Like I say, it's all strengthened from behind anyway. I've got to put another coat of filler over there, and a bit down there, and then I can just sort of block it back, try and get that radius there looking uniform. But yeah, you can see where I gouged out the cracks. I think it'll be alright. I've got a bit of primer that I'll spray on there. I'll get that winky out. The bloody screws have rounded off, so yay. But yeah, I think once this is wrapped, I think I'm going to wrap it up to here, this corner. And then, yeah, once this is wrapped, that whole side piece there can go on, and then, yeah, that'll be solid and done. Stuff that I absolutely hated. I absolutely detested big old body kits. And here's me now with a 2000s biggest body kit you could think of. It's fully body kitted truck with fiberglass everywhere. Oh well. But yeah, this is basically my evenings. Just a little bit here and there, you know, an hour here and there. When it's actually out and dry, it does make a difference, because I'll be able to shape that back. The filler will all be nice and dry. Yeah, so it's exciting stuff. Just sitting out here enjoying the weather. Putting the wheel arch in. One of the positive things about doing this second side is made this already. Made two, didn't I? Happily, this one's not any different, because obviously I've rebuilt this whole side out of new box section anyway. So yeah, it's nice that I've literally got this on the shelf. I've made it before, so yeah, literally a case of just sparking it in. Then we can move on to this bay and start cutting this out. So yeah, feels good, feels positive, good moving forward. There we go, another section done. Me and Libby were out here till it was dark, or we were painting well into the dark, just getting it all red oxide up. So I now have you know, one bay left to do some welding to. So as you probably saw, like I had to sort of trim, like obviously this is this fiberglass hatch thing, I can't remember what you'd call it, but that was bonded to the steel, which was just totally annihilated, just utterly shagged right out, just completely rotted. So I had to sort of you know, dick about a bit with the old drill dough and cut out the PU, but ultimately, like I say, it's all solid now. It's literally all new. Anything that looks slightly rotted is gone, up in my scrap pile. So my next drama really is this piece here. I've got to try and cut that out, and I'm not looking forward to it. So yeah, I've got to try and trim that out without touching the roof, which is obviously fiberglass and very, very, well, you know, piss weak by comparison. All the tools I've got to use that can cut metal will just absolutely piss through that, so I've got to be careful. Not looking forward to it, but needs to be done. It's the last bit, so it's like the final stretch. I have got to try and sort of re-deal with this step thing. Currently it goes in like we're gonna sort of go in and end up sort of going right down this side, so you're not stepping straight up in like you would have historically. We want to sort of go in and right, so I'm going to have like a angle to step out, so that it's sort of almost like a, you know, like a corner stair. So I'll probably do that at the same time as this, because, you know, I can make it out of steel and just put some wood on the top of it, so it'll be a bit nicer to look at. But, you know, it's in the sort of steelwork area, so it seems crazy not to just make it out of steel. You know, I'm throwing, what's it going to be, like another, you know, 3-4 kilograms worth of steel, and it's going to be better than this fiberglass monstrosity that's there currently. So the only other thing, like I said, I've got to deal with the doors. The two side cabinet doors that I've got here, they actually hinge from this area, the top beam, rather than the lower one, which is where the floor now is. So I've opted for getting, so I've got new hinges to go on here, and I've opted to get some 10mm by 10mm solid steel, which we're going to weld into there, and then hopefully the hinges will bolt up to there. Right, so I've got my wheels and tyres back. All those only just fit in the older Vario. So I delivered, as you know, the wheels down to Tom, and when they were there, he phoned me. He said, I'll be honest, mate, I wouldn't even bother getting them refurbished. I can get these wheels for not a lot of money, more than what you pay to get them refurbished. So we ended up having new wheels. They're heavy, but they're all new, and he put them in there with a forklift. Oh, they're heavy and I'm old. Oh, look at that. Glorious. It's just like my first set of TSW blades that I put on. I'm so proud of those. Something else Tom mentioned was these little lock washers. They go in under the nuts. He said what you'll find is as you take them off, you'll notice that the spring has unsprung. Most of mine were decent, to be fair, but compare an old one to a new one, you know, they're preventing your wheels from falling off, aren't they? So we bought a box of new wheel nuts and spring washers, and we got some of those bright yellow angle things that go on. So yeah, just buzzing them on for a minute. Once I've lowered it down off of the axle stands, we'll torque it up. Lovely. I'm really happy with those. Happy days. Oh, new shoes. There we go. Lots of brand new wheels, brand new tyres. Oh, so excited. We've also got some proper drive tyres and some steering tyres. Previously just had steering tyres all the way around. The tread pattern's different. So called, you're allowed to use those all the way around. The steering ones, you're allowed to use them on the back, but you're not allowed to use the ones on the back on the front. So the spare, we kept one of the tyres. One of them was half decent, so we've kept that as a spare, and we got one front tyre basically. So yeah, that's I'm really pleased. It's another little tick in the box for me. I haven't got to worry about that now for the whole time I've got this, obviously, unless I get a puncture. But we're never going to get anywhere near the mileage that we're going to start wearing tyres out. So I will get it tracked up. Tom knows a guy that will do it, so we'll deal with that once it's on the road and working. So my next port of call is to this bit's got to come out. It's obviously all shagged out and knackered. More importantly, this piece of box section, it's horrible. From about here, I've got to cut it right up, just nearly to where the door ends there, because it's just fucked. If I just zoom in, you can see it's just horrible. So that's just going to give me issues consistently. So, you know, I need to get that out. The door mechanism comes out to here. It's actually like a bit of a head beater, that anyway. And as I've lost the air completely from the door, because I don't need to sit in the driver's seat and open and shut it, it will be opened and shut as we get in and out of it. So I'm going to lose the air cylinder, so I won't need a lot of this stuff, only the hinging part there. So I'm going to get up and just sort of remove as much as I see fit, and then just see how we get on. Then I can start pulling all this sort of stuff out, and make something new from here. I've got some ideas of what I want to do, but I'll go through that when I do it. It's had a fair amount of you know, revisions over the time. I think it's got various valves and stuff. There's a pneumatic cylinder there, which I assume was for a lock or something perhaps. The main cylinder's there. We can see we got like a fair bit of tin there, so I reckon we can have this off around here and lose quite a lot of that. So let's get rid of it. So I guess it was never designed really to come off, because this bam bolt's dead easy, you know, 6 bolts, and it's on its deck. But it looks like it's been off at some point before, because there's no bloody connection. There's a wiring harness that goes all the way up to here for all the locking, runs down there and in, runs up the inside here, nice job, into there, and then just off straight into the main loom. So there's no bloody connector. So it looks like somebody's had it all here, and I can feel some connectors in there, like the inline crimp. So we'll have it off there for a minute, in the same manner as they've done, and then once the door's off, I'll investigate it one evening and see what's the best way to deal with it. But yeah, fucking madness, isn't it, really? Right, I've had me summer trimlet. Right, so I started cutting out all of this box, removed the step, and found, shock horror, a load more shit which I've got to cut out. So it is what it is. I'd rather do it now. You know, I thought the step bit was alright. In fairness, like the top part of the step on the hinge is just fiberglass. The door just bolts on, absolute doddle, like I say, like 6 bolts, and that's on the floor. But yeah, I've just got lots of more rot which I've got to get rid of. So we're just going to zap the majority of this out now. I'm kind of used to all the fudge ups that I keep finding. I actually have a nice little smile on when I find something's been done proper. But even like the original van, I'm absolutely sure was just thrown together. I mean, look, those 3 bits of box section going this way, look how parallel they're not. Madness. They're like 10-15 millimeters out over a meter. They're just absolute madness. I don't know what would possess someone to do that. I just look at it and just I think wouldn't live with it. I'd just have to zap that out and correct it. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it looks quite good now. We've got like sort of this black at the middle, black at the back, and then red oxide, and then there's nothing there. So you know, it's the free bit of progression. But I was gonna do more today, but I keep getting like showered on. So I just decided I'd just cut out a lot of this old crap. So there's a load more crap, as I say. I got racing on there, like the boys from Swallows and Charlie and that. They're all up at Silverstone today, so I've got that on in the background. I've just been listening to how Richard Hammond is getting stuck in. So yeah, we'll do I'll get like tomorrow morning. I'll get more going. It's just starting to rain again now. Hopefully tomorrow it will remain dry and I can just get in there and weld it. It's a pain not being able to put it inside, really. I've said it numerous times on this sort of little video set, which is, I wish I had just built a shelter to put it in. But you know, again, it is what it is. There's been lots of things I'd do again differently. But yeah, right, let's get busy. Got the top painter on the job. Really though? You missed any?
Yes.
Did you paint yourself in?
I'll leave it for you,
yeah. That's fair. So yeah, Libby's in there painting it all. What a good girl she is. We covered the new wheels up with a bin bag in case you got paint on it.
I did request that.
Yeah, you did request that, to be fair. Her hair is actually blonde. But we usually have to cut a bit of your hair out, don't we? You may get some. Right, a quick chat about awnings. I want an awning here. It's one of the things that we really like about the Iveco. We had like the biggest awning that we could fit on the side of it. It's a Fiamma awning. I think we're probably going to end up with a Fiamma awning on this. Because they do make one that's 6.5 meters long. It's an F80 instead of an F45, but as far as I gather, the F45 fits on the side of the van and the F80 fits on the top. Either way, not ideal for this thing, because up there is fiberglass, and further down is windows, and obviously some aluminium panels at the back. So there's nothing to attach said awning to. On the Iveco it was tin up there, so it was relatively easy. So I will show you what I have planned. So on each of the main spurs, essentially, or main spars, whatever you want to call them, there's a piece of 1x40 that goes up here to all the way down through the van. And if I come this side, you can potentially see the roof is still loose. So it goes there and it comes down close to, it's not easy to see because it's got some tin this side, but you can see there. So there's a bit of a gap between the fiberglass and the chassis. So I can't sandwich anything nicely. I can't just bolt anything to the outside because it will just squish this in. So after sort of a few conversations with Uncle Spike and Monsieur Fox and James and loads of other people, we came up with this. It is a little 3D printed jig we've made up. I've pushed in some stainless tube, and we're going to use this as a drill jig. So let me just swap hands. So essentially this is chamfered on the bottom to make way for the weld. That will push in there. It goes on tight, but I don't want to push it on quite tight yet because I'm not going to drill them. Then we've got these holes here, so I can bottom it right against there, and then on every single spar right the way down through the van, and I can drill through so that we've got two nice proper holes. So then behind those holes we'll have like a pilot essentially right the way through. So what I've got is this is all 316A2 stainless steel. This is an M20. These are 40. These I've had made turn weld down in Shard. They're really good to me. Really helpful. I'll put their details in the bottom of the video. Actually, I think Liam did these for me, so thank you, Liam. Absolute gentleman. So these are essentially M8 through the centre, exactly 40mm wide, and an M20 thread on the outside. So I'll have a hole through this spar. M5, a 5mm. I've got some 5mm long drills so that I can spike right the way through. I'm going to attach the roof first before I do that. Then I will have a pilot drill on the outside, so I'll be able to use a hole cutter, 22mm hole cutter. So this will then bolt through our piece of box here, and essentially be floating with a 1mm gap, around the outside. I'll then be able to put some sort of sealer through it, and then I've got an M20 nut which will go down through with again it's all A4 stainless. I've got a big washer and a rubber washer which will go under that. That will bolt down over there, which will then come down tight just against the fiberglass. It'll just be touching, just tweaking it. Then we'll have some, I've not designed them yet, but some 3D printed covers which will have UV. They'll be compliant. They'll have some compliancy with UV, so they won't fall to pieces. And that go over the top. And then I will have all the way down the side some nice M8 stainless mounting brackets that are not affecting the roof. And then we can think about then making something on the outside again in nice and stainless that we can mount our awning to. I just needed to get this done. Like, I might not even buy the awning yet, because being brutally honest, I can't afford to buy it. I need to sell the other van, I think, before I do that, or go and get a credit card or something, which I've not had since I was 18, and I really don't want one now. Yeah, so then we'll have these sticking through here, 1, 2. And then we can just leave them there. They're stainless and they'll be sealed. No water's going to get inside because they'll be, we could obviously thread lock and sealer, etc., etc. But yeah, I needed to get this done before we get this side on, because I need to glue this roof in. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't and leaks, I'll be pissed off because I can't think of anything else that's going to do the trick with this and look right and be sensible. So yeah, I can go and drill my holes once I've got this roof glued on. So it's more jobs that I've got to do. Completely rust free now. All new steel everywhere. I bolted the door back on just for a minute because I've just been building the step, which I'll show you in a minute. We are now going to get wrapping on this side. I've not done wrapping now for a few weeks and I haven't been looking forward to starting again, but now we've got a whole side to do. This time I'm going to do it in a slightly different order. I'm going to do the roof first, and then I'm going to drill the holes in the roof for said canopy awning thing. But yeah, we've got a solid thing now. It actually looks good. Really pleased. So yeah, let's get wrapping. I've got to get the missus out now. Uncle Spike's not about and she's a bit vertically challenged, so I'm gonna have to probably put a scaffold up for her or something to hold one end, but let's see how we get on. Wrapped. I remember why I don't like wrapping. It's fucking boring. You see how rippled the roof is, in fairness. I think like it's made in sections. There's been a bit where I've had to put some filler in along here. Somebody had put a couple of metal screws through, which we've, you know, I've just filled with fiberglass basically and filled on the outside, put a little bit of primer over, so hopefully it'll all be alright. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's just a bit of fiberglass essentially, so I can't see why it wouldn't be alright. So now I'm going to glue the roof back on, get some of my favourite PU adhesive, and just bond, like that pulls out, and I can just bond that in, leave it overnight, and then the roof is stuck back on properly, so that's good news too. Same as last time, just got like a piece of aluminium. That is Uncle Spike's piece of 20 by 20 that he got me to get him for something or other, and he's not picked it up, so I've pinched it. I've just put some masking tape on the edge that size so it doesn't damage anything. Just wind clamped the hell out of it. So yeah, leave that till tomorrow. Fully attached roof. Time to test this now. Drilling right the way through, and I'm a bit concerned, to be honest, but we'll see, I suppose. So far so good, eh? Well, we have holes there now, so let's hope that it's works as smoothly down the whole line, eh? Living a dream. The plan now is the 5mm pilot bore I put through from the other side. That hole now should be perfectly square right down through. So 5mm was the same as my nice sharp hole saw here, so the plan now is to just drill the holes through the fiberglass with 20mm. I'm hoping I don't fuck this up. This is where I should be a proper YouTuber really, and I'd be able to have tripods and all that sort of crap and view what I'm doing properly, but I'm just using my phone because I'm not a real YouTuber. So yeah, let's drill some holes. Gently, Bentley. That's it now, isn't it? Game over. I fucked it. I got holes in my roof. Oh, so lots of 20mm holes. Next job is my 5mm hole, which is, I'll probably sit better on that one, it's not so deep. 5mm hole's got to be opened out now to 8 so I can put my cap head bolt up through my piece of 20mm studding. Sounds awfully complicated, doesn't it? And I do hope this works. Ho hum. So the moment of truth. These should go in there and then bolt in from the back, hopefully. I don't know, who am I kidding? I've already put them in. Of course they fit. I wouldn't want to look a dickhead on the camera, would I? So yeah, they push in there. They meet against my, they butt up against my piece of box section in the back, and these bolt through. So we'll be using like a lock washer, obviously, and a bit of a thread sealer, I think. And then we've got some protruding knobs, which we will use some of these on, I think, just to cover it up. A bit of sealant, and then we've got a good solid basis for our awning. So yes, smash them in. There we go. So all sealed. I've got these M20 washers. I basically just bunged a load of grey PU in under, push the washers down nice and hard, let it squidge out everywhere. When it gets to like a few hours dry, you can just peel that off and it'll leave a nice line there and you won't even see it. So pretty happy with that, to be fair. I can go and put some glass in now. So yeah, we've got plenty of mounting points now, all the way down through, all perfectly in line, ready to put the awning on. I don't know whether I'll mount a plate or a bracket, or whether I'll plate all the way along there in aluminium. I don't know yet. We'll see which awning we end up with, but regardless, nice and strong, solid, attached to the frame. So another job jobbed. So my house is these are the beams that we'd made the tent with on the other side. So I've kept them all, and they're now propping that panel that we have just, me and Libby have just wrapped it. Obviously you saw us putting the glass in, so that panel is now being bonded, and then we'll do the very rear one tomorrow evening. It's pretty handy because we can just we're at the point now where we can do a panel one night after work. We can like prep it, wrap it, stick it on. So I'm hoping that it'll fly up now. I've got to bugger around with these doors. That's my next proper task. And we've had all the flooring turn up, so that was handy. We've gone local guy advised that we get some 18mm. It was 12mm Philonic ply when I bought the van or the bus, and we're at sort of upping it to 18mm. The weight difference was, you know, being honest, negligible. I'd rather have like a fully solid floor. So yeah, all the flooring is now here, so we can actually start putting some floor at the front where it's dry at the front. You know, once we've got these panels in, it'll be dry internally at the front, and then we can sort of put the floor in as we put the side on. So yeah, it'd be quite cool to have a floor on that we're not falling through. So Libby has been in today painting all these beams, because these are still red oxide, some of these. So yeah, so far so good. As long as my house doesn't fall down where I propped up the bus against it, should have a panel on tomorrow. So gonna pretty much leave this video here. All the upper panels are now complete. Me and Libs have finished mostly insulating this side. We've got to do, there's like a bit that goes along there, like a smaller bit there. So like, but that's lots of smaller pieces. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. So, and one last piece at the back, but we ran out of that tinfoil tape that you put around the outside. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video there. So positive thing is we're nearly dry, so you know, we can shut the door now. That's only held on with 2 bolts currently, because I've ordered a piece from my main man Howard to actually make a new skin for the door. But you know, ultimately we have a dry van. So next on my list is obviously the main side panels. They'll go along there, and the floor, that's my next game plan, along with a few other little bits and pieces. Like I've been sanding this bloody wing down. I'd hate to be doing bodywork because I just don't know when to stop. I reckon I put bloody filler primer on this wing and sanded it down probably 8 or 9 times now. I've been coming out in the evenings for an hour when everyone's gone to bed and just pissing around with it. I'm really pleased with it. I just can't get this sort of this radius correct here. It's still just painted it at the moment. Again, a bit more paint. So but you know, compared to this side, it's fairly, you know, it's fairly obvious that it's a massive step forward. I've also welded in, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, probably have, I get forgetful. I've welded in like another bracket underneath the other side and fully bonded the other wing down this edge, whereas it wasn't previously. So lots of water was getting in through, because this is not, I don't know where this one is. There you go, see how floppy it is. It wasn't bonded to the frame. It looks like it was at some point, but it is not now, or it is now, but it wasn't. You know where I'm coming from. Anything else to report? Had to weld in this little piece of 10mm along here. Something I'd not considered was the bloody doors, the cabinets. I just made everything this side the same, so you know, more fool me really. I was trying to jump the gun and ended up ballsing up essentially. So had to just modify that. It was just a, you know, a little bit of messing around, and some welded some 10mm on there, which I can drill and tap for my hinge. I think what else I've got to do. Just, well, quite obviously shitloads. More metals for you order coming. A load more metal, because I've still got to make there's a water tank to go down there, so I've got to make that frame. Jeremy has the rear panel. He's still repairing that because it was worse than the other side, naturally. Yeah, so let's end this video now, and then next video, hey, may even go for a drive, who knows, eh? But yeah, thanks for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe if you like my boring Somerset tones and you like watching stupid people spend hundreds of hours on wanky old vans. See you later. Bye bye.